Hello, lovelies. It's She here from Golden Thread Tarot, and I'm here to bring you another channeled message. I hope this message is finding you blessed and full of abundance, my sweets. Okay. Well, you guys, I just filmed such an intense reading. There was several things in there like I've never experienced before. That was interesting, but we're moving on. We're getting into this reading. Okay. Okay. So I really feel like there's some kind of hidden emotions here. Hidden emotion, like really deep hidden emotions here that are trying to come up to the surface. That could just be something that's also happening in the background right now. I feel like a lot of people are dealing with that kind of energy of like really working on processing their emotions in like a really healthy way. Okay. That could just be something that's playing around in the background. I want to pull like one or two of these cards to see exactly what direction Spirit wants to go with this reading, and then we'll clarify with the tarot, okay? So what do you want this reading to be about, Spirit? What do you want to talk about? Wow! Okay. 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 So we have Networker and Don Juan. Okay. Networker and Don Juan, as well as Saboteur on the back of the deck here. Whoa. Just 1 second, you guys. I'm sorry. Okay, sorry about that. Saboteur. They want me to read the shadow. Indulges self-destructive behavior or the desire to undermine others. So I'm hearing that somebody could be trying to... I'm hearing charm the pants off you. Okay? With this Don Juan here. Spotlights your positive, seductive qualities. Somebody here could be really trying to recover from this self-sabotage, especially in love, or especially in like in two places, okay? In two places in your life. In your love life, okay? As well as in your professional life, okay? Your spirit guides are really trying to guide you here through your emotions, through hidden emotions, to the full card, a brand new path, 8 of Wands, brand new opportunities, okay? That are coming after a heartbreak or coming after having some kind of failure in love and failure possibly in career, okay? Or feeling like a failure, feeling like you have self-sabotaged yourself out of love or out of like professional. There's something here around how you communicate with others here. Where do we want to dive in first? Love. Okay. Let's dive into this love first. Okay. You could have really felt like in the past you were very attracted to these more like shadow energies here with this Don Juan, using the power of romantic attraction for private agendas. Like people, you felt like I really wanted to use you romantically, or like use your romantic feelings for them for like a means to an end, you know? 5 of Pentacles in reverse. Oh. You could have felt like you really, in the past, you really dealt with a lot of energies that really made you feel like abandoned. But I feel like now you're trying, it's like, or, yeah, because I'm hearing made things worse. So you've really dealt with a lot of energies in the past, especially in love, that it kind of, like, there's this energy here of expecting the worst, so attracting people that make your life worse or make your life harder. I'm hearing struggle love, like maybe even believing in the whole struggle love situation, or not believing in it, but subconsciously being programmed to think that love is supposed to be a struggle, or it's supposed to feel like a fight, or you're supposed to constantly be chasing after that other person to gain their love or gain their approval, right? But spirit is saying here, like, for some of you, you might even feel like your beauty or your attraction or your sexuality, like your is a curse, or like is it's like you might feel really complicated about flirting, or about you might feel really complicated around your sexuality because you could feel very used and abused. You could have attracted a lot of people into your life that made you feel very used in that way, like they came in and used their sexual charm or their wiles to get what they wanted out of you and then to leave you, or to take what they wanted. You could have had a lot of relationships or a lot of situationships in the past where people really wanted to only use you for your body, or only use you for your sexuality or for your looks, or they made you feel that way. They made you feel like, and the honest truth, the spirit is telling me, the honest truth is that that's all those people had to offer. I'm sure they were. I'm not saying that that's all they were, but it's like a mismatch here, where it's like a mismatch where it's like, oh, we don't really match up, like in our morality or in our spirituality or in our personality, but it's like, oh, but I'll use your body though, but so there's this complication around your sexuality, around your romanticness, or even maybe your attractiveness, you know, um, like I was saying earlier with that, like some of you think like your beauty or like your attractiveness, or like I've heard, if you say that as you identify as a woman, right, and you have rather large, like a rather large chest, you could feel like, I feel like, like on one hand, I love my body, and I like, there's on one hand, I like the attention, I like the sexualization sometimes that I get, because yeah, it's hot, I got a nice rack, like that's what's up, like I know they're nice, but at the same time, you could be like, but I get tired of people staring at them, but I get tired of people over sexualizing me, but I get tired of wearing a t-shirt and people being like, oh, you're so provocative, and you're like, I got a fucking t-shirt on, dog, like I'm just at Walmart trying to buy my groceries, like why are you over sexualizing me, so it's this kind of both thing, where it's like, it feels like your sexuality can start to feel almost like a curse, or can start to feel, it can make you feel very complicated, because you could feel like, on one hand, I want to explore and love and celebrate my sexuality, or celebrate myself in that type of sense, but also it makes me feel very complicated because I've attracted a lot of people that only want to sexualize me, right? That only want to see me as that, or overly see me as that, or it just turns out to be only about the chemistry and not about actual compatibility, right? Yeah, 10 of Wands. Some of you feel very, kind of, like I said, complicated. You feel complicated. You almost feel burdened by, um, and it's so, and I'm so sorry, that you've been made to feel complicated about this because of your past and your experiences that you've had, because everyone deserves to allow themselves to feel attractive and to feel sexy and to feel, you know, every adult deserves to be able to really explore, their sexuality and their body and enjoy those things about themselves without being made to feel guilty or ashamed, or it's a natural part of being a person, right? It's a natural part of our personality. It's a natural part of our, yeah, it's just a natural part of our human experience. And I feel like for some of you, you've been really made to feel like it's a really negative part of your experience, whether or not it was based on, there's a lot of shame around it, or whether or not there's a lot of, I feel like you attracted a lot of people that put a lot of your worth into your physicality or into your body or into you giving your body away to people and not necessarily putting a lot or onto your attractiveness, and to not necessarily investing a lot into more of who you are than just that single facet of you, of who you are. And maybe for some of you, it made you shut down and close down that part of you, and so you're just like, no, like that's not a part of me that I explore. Like I'm so much more than that, and I'm not even, but for a lot of you, there's a lot of spiritual energy in our sexual energy and our creation energy, right? Because the act of that is directly tied into making new life. It's directly tied into spirituality. There's a lot of people who want to take sexuality out of spirituality, while I am a very big person who's very much so like, no, your sexuality and your physicality is a very important part of your spirituality and of your um oh god, and sorry, I just have other downloads happening while I'm trying to talk, and it's a very important part of your experience as a person. But I just also heard breeder, which some of you could feel like, oh, the only purpose of spirituality is just to produce offspring, and there isn't any joy that's supposed to come from it. There isn't any, you're not supposed to indulge in wanting to feel sexy or wanting to be admired or wanting your body to be admired or admiring your own body, liking what you look at in the mirror, sexualizing yourself in a self-positive way, because maybe you've been so overly sexualized. I don't even know if I'm going to be, I've said that word so much. I don't even know if this is going to be able to be monetized, but it doesn't matter. Um, you know, the physicality of your body. There is something here about you rejecting that part of your body, and it's sabotaging you, because there's so much of your creative energy that comes from being one with the flow of that natural energy of your body. Because there's a reason, a lot of you might have come from a very strictly religious background or a very conservative background of, you know, thoughts, lusty thoughts or things like that, or sin, wanting to. And again, at the end of the day, like if it makes you feel good and it gives you a positive feeling to separate those things, then that's it. But this is really going to be for my people who were really made to feel like they should separate, or they should feel ashamed of that part of themselves or that part of their body, because there is some kind of shame tied to that, or some kind of guilt tied to that. Actually, before I started filming this morning, I was scrolling through YouTube, and I um, got caught in scrolling through some YouTube shorts. And actually, I don't even know, I don't even remember like what it was. Obviously like from some kind of podcast or from some kind of, radio show or something. But there was an older woman that was on there that was talking to a younger woman. It's obviously like a group of people, because I could hear other people talk, but the camera was on those two. And she was talking about body count, and she was talking um about how the girl should feel ashamed of herself, because she's like, there's nothing good about having a body count of 4 before the time you're 18. Like, you should feel ashamed of that, and it really, I don't want to say triggered me, but it made me have like this very protective stance, because I feel like in our society, we, especially with my age group and younger, we put way too much emphasis on what your body count is. And actually, it's not even a modern thing, because how long has it been a thing in our society and just in humankind in general, that a woman's worth is put on how, on that she's a virgin, that she's pure, that no other man's ever had her, and I understand that in the past that was more so that was also tied, not just tied into that, it was also obviously tied into religion, but it also was also tied into, this is before paternity tests, so you wanted to know that your children, that your offspring, that your bloodline was yours, right? And the way that you know that is that, that person is a virgin and they're only going to be with you, and you put a lot of pressure on women to only be with one man or to only be with your husband. And that's why there was such strong, punishments for adultery, especially in women and things like that, getting that scarlet A, and being ostracized from the community, because it was like my bloodline needs to stay pure and I need to know that my children are my children because that's everything. That kind of vibe. I know we're talking about a lot of different stuff right now. We're talking about a lot of different things, okay? And yeah, there's a lot, right, just a lot here. Personally, um, how you feel personally and through your personal experiences also, if you believe in it, through your past life experiences that you've experienced through that, which is really being triggered and brought up here through your personal experiences in this lifetime, or just your expectations that are being put on you. And I don't, and I speak a lot from a woman's perspective because that's who I am. I cannot speak from a man's perspective, right? Um, I can, and I don't want to feel like I am ostracizing any of my male viewers that are here by speaking from a woman, from a feminine, or overly speaking from a woman's perspective. But like I said, at the end of the day, I'm not a man. In this lifetime, and in most of my lifetimes, I have not experienced life as a man. Okay, I have not experienced the more masculine energy in that sort of type sense. So, and at least in this lifetime, I can talk on it, but it's not like I know what it's like to live from a man's perspective. So I'm sorry if sometimes on my channel you feel a little left out or you feel a little ostracized, but I don't want to speak on something that I have not personally experienced myself. I can only speak from the experience that I've had about being a woman, right? And from a woman's perspective, obviously I can do my research. Obviously I can listen, and there are other if there are other creators or other people out there who would like to talk to me or would like to reach out or would like to provide to talk about these things from a man's perspective, please do, because I would love that. Right? Open up a dialogue with me. Contact me and in my description box down below, my email's down there. Reach out to me and talk to me. We can create a dialogue. Okay? And I would love that. I would love that. But obviously there are, outside of gender, there are roles that get put on men as men being made to feel like um, their role is undervalued, or their emotions are being expected to be put in the back burner. And I know there are a lot of men, for other creators that I watch out there are a lot of men that feel very unheard, that feel very pushed to the side, and that it's not always it's not ever going to be the most productive thing for one side or the other, or for one gender to tell the other one, well, you've had the we've been living in a patriarchal society where you've put all these pressure on women. Nobody cares about your mansplaining, or nobody cares about that. I don't feel like we should get into those energies either. I feel like men should be able to step up and say how they really feel, no matter if they have predominantly been the ones that have ruled our society, and their thoughts and their feelings have literally sculpted our whole entire society, our modern day society that we live in right now, and that a man's thoughts and what a man wants has literally made our society mostly what it is now. That doesn't mean that men should be silenced, or that men shouldn't have feelings, or that men shouldn't be allowed to say, hey, like, I suffer too. Like, just because I'm the majority, or just because I'm the ruler, or just because, not ruler, but just because in general, um yeah, I feel like there are some men here that are either here or will be here, or they might not be here currently, but they could be here in the future, that also, you know, are, like, I feel silenced, I feel forgotten, I feel, like there are too many people out there who are like, shut up, man, don't have an opinion, oh, shut your mouth, like, nobody cares about how you feel. Um, I feel like that's also an issue in our society as well. And I understand where it comes from, because for hundreds of years, women have been told, shut your mouth, nobody cares about your opinion. And there are some people out there who want to return that same energy to men and tell them, shut up, shut your mouth, you don't have an opinion. That's not how I feel. But I feel like there's a big change in our society that's really, that there's a big change in energy in our society. But I'm getting off on so many tangents, though. But I definitely feel like it has a role to play, right? All the things that I'm talking about on our greater society and our past, it has a role to play in why you personally, wherever you are, you personally feel the way that you do about your body and about your relationship with people. Okay, I definitely feel like obviously what happens on the macro definitely, definitely affects the micro, our, us personally, and the way we feel about ourselves and the way we interact with people in the world. Obviously our society and what we've dealt with and what the generations before us have dealt with, and our psychology definitely obviously has a role to play in what's happening now, even, like in your interpersonal relationships, obviously. um so yeah, so it's not that much of a tangent, but I know it's not this reading, and I know that some of you might be being like, that's great and all, but what about me? you know um yeah, so I definitely feel like some truths are really being highlighted to you about ways that you, again, with this 10, with this Ace of Swords and the 10 of Swords, there is a cycle here, all right, that's really trying to come to an end here, or there's this repeating cycle here, especially in your love life, of betrayal, of you discovering the truth. It's almost like a discovering the truth, being like, wow, and then being like, forgetting the truth, and then going through that same karmic cycle over and over and over again, right? And Spirit really wants this to end, especially in your love life. They want you to feel differently. They don't want you to feel so betrayed by your body or betrayed by the people that come into your life. They want you to feel loved. They want you to feel appreciated. They want you to feel differently about your body and about the psychology of your body and how much you love. It really affects how you love yourself, how you treat yourself, how you allow other people to treat you, what you think your worth and your value is. I just dropped that card, right? But it was the 10 of Swords. Spirit wants you to stop, right, with the betrayals. Stop with the and they want you to stop with that energy, and they want you to really hold that truth up, right? They want you to hold that truth up, and they want you to kind of, it's almost like a conquering this, like conquering this beast, conquering this ten of Wands energy here, right? For some of you here, music could be very relaxing to you. Getting into this kind of more romantic vibe. Be aware of what you're doing. This is, yeah, this is about you being trapped here in your mind and feeling, right? The Eight of Swords is about being one. All the sword energy is about how you talk to yourself and how you deal with yourself, and how what other people have told you, or how other people wanted to treat you, have made you feel like that's all you deserve, that's all you're worth. And Spirit saying that it's time for a change in the energy, mostly about how you feel about yourself, right? When I was talking about um that short, the YouTube short that I was watching earlier, where the girl was like, "Oh, your body count, like, you should feel ashamed." It was like you should feel ashamed of yourself based on that, based on your worth, placing your worth on how many people you have been with, place your worth on how many people you have allowed to take from your energy. There's something here about taking your energy back from people that you have allowed to take from your energy unjustly, right? And letting go of any kind of guilt or any kind of shame that you might feel attached to that, right? Take back your power in this situation, because Nine of Swords is like this looming guilt, or this looming something over you where you feel like it's holding you back in your love life. This is what Spirit is saying. It's holding you back in your love life. This guilt, this shame, maybe this is all I deserve. Maybe I'm not worth it because of my past, or because I have these lusty thoughts. I must be being punished by these, it must be my fault kind of energy. Like that, it's this mindset that's keeping you trapped here. Spirit is saying. And again, like I was saying with this networker here, the macro, what's the big out, the exterior from us, is really reflecting in the interior, and with this dom on your personal relationships here in love. Yeah, spirit really wants you to get into your high vibe, like your good, like love energy. Like, damn, I'm so in love with myself. You know, I'm in love with my body. I'm in love with who I am. I'm in love with my life. I'm in love with that energy. It's not about the past. It's about bringing in this new, beautiful, positive energy, right? Spotlights your positive, seductive qualities, right? So instead of, for some of you, this is really about breaking some kind of cycle of shame tied into your body or tied into your sexuality. Um, yeah. For some of you, this could be because of some kind of abuse that you endured, and I'm sorry that you dealt with that. I'm not going to dive into it too much, but if it applies to you, you know that it applies to you. Like I said, I'm not trying to trigger you or make you feel guilty or anything like that. But Three of Wands, this is something that you need to put yourself at a distance from. And it's actually, this energy is actually, this shame energy is actually what's keeping you at a distance. You know, this energy that you're in, how you feel about yourself, and this being tied, you know, feeling shameful about your body or shameful about your seductive qualities or who you are as a person, your sexuality, is actually what's keeping you at a distance from what you actually really want, which is like beautiful, loving, like appreciative, you know, partnerships. This is actually what's keeping you at a distance. You might feel like this shame or this is like your guiding light to how you have a healthy relationship, but spirit is actually here to tell you it's actually exactly what's keeping you from having a healthy relationship. Wow. Because whatever this is rooted in shame and pain and guilt. That's why it's keeping you at a distance from what you really want. Whoa. Woo wee. Okay, let's shift over here to like this networker energy here with this career. Spirit says you've been holding yourself back. Your fears and your anxieties. There is also there is a lack of your insecurities and your worth and your ability to succeed in your ability. There is like this kind of self-saboteur, like I know that I'm going to fail, I know that I'm not good enough for this, so why try, why apply for that job, why go for it, why do this, because I know that I'm just going to fail anyway. There is this really really hard sense of, you know, people in your life are really you know, it's kind of like let it go. It's like people in your life won't let your failures of your past go, like, and because they don't, it's kind of holding you mentally back because you put these people's opinions above your actual abilities, right? Times that you have failed, or times that you have disappointed people, or times that things haven't worked out the way that you said or the way that you envisioned them to, and that other people have been like, well, see, I knew you were going to fail, or well, of course, you know, of course it worked out that way because, you know, I told you so. I told her so. Like I knew that it was gonna work out that way for you because you're a failure, you're a loser. Or something. It's that kind of energy that has been placed onto you has really become like that inner dialogue for yourself. Like, might as well not even try because I bet you're gonna fail. Remember that time that you failed in the past. Remember that time it didn't work out in the past. Remember when you felt not good enough in the past. And it's an illusion. Spirit is saying those are all illusions. I mean, things that happen, they happen, but that doesn't always have to be who you always are. You are not always defined by your failures, and you don't have to be. If you have a lot, or even if it's one particular person, it could be a parent, it could be a family member, it could be a spouse, it could be a child, even it could, you know, whoever this person is, or whatever this energy is in your life, wherever it's coming from, or whoever, a group, whoever it is, right? It's this kind of energy of like this looming darkness of failure that stops you from that's like self-sabotaging, that you're self-sabotaging your way out of it, because it's like, I don't want to disappoint myself again. I don't want to see that same look of disappointment on people when I don't win, or when what they said, what the negative thing they said would happen when it happens. It almost becomes like the self-fulfilling prophecy, like you're not going to make it. And so you convince yourself to not even try, and you make them right. Yeah, you're not going to make it because they're convincing you to not even try, right? They're convincing you to not even try. Like, at least if you tried, you tried. And there's something there. Okay, maybe that's not for me. Maybe that's not the way to do it. At least you learn something from it. But just giving up and not even trying, like, you are being, like, you're allowing these people to convince you to sabotage yourself out of, like I said, even trying to see if you could win, to see if you could make it. And there is this greediness here of these people, or this, like, it's like holding on to things from the past, holding on to the way things have always been, or holding on to what these people think you are, or who they think you are, or what they think your worth is based on their worth. It's not really even about you. They'll try to make it about you, which is why they'll always drag up old shit, right? Which is why they always drag up things that happened in the past, which is why they always want to, oh, remember that time you thought you could open that business and then you fell on your face? I just don't want to see that happen to you again. Or, you know, so and so tried to do that and they failed at it. Or, you know, I just don't want to see you fail. No. The truth is, these people don't want to see you win. These people don't want to see you change. These people don't want to see you try. These people don't want to see you, or this person doesn't want to see you, or, you know, even if these people aren't in your life, it's like they're still in your life because they're in your head. They've become your inner dialogue, right? Of, well, why even try? Well, why even push myself? Because I'm probably going to fail anyway. And I'm just going to prove my mom or my dad or those people right when I don't make it. You know, these people don't believe in themselves, which is why they don't believe in you. How can you can't expect anybody to give you what they don't even give themselves. You can't expect anybody to give you respect when they don't even respect themselves. You can't expect anybody to give you encouragement when they don't encourage themselves in a real deep way. They might fakely with a mask encourage themselves or have self-confidence or have self-belief, but underneath it all, a person who really believes in themselves doesn't feel the need to tear down other people, doesn't feel the need to point out other people's mistakes, doesn't feel the need to, you know, just put negativity onto somebody. Somebody that's make it themselves is going to turn around and be like, yeah, maybe you can make it too. You just got to have hard work and dedication and believe in yourself and keep on going, you know, and then pay attention, you know, pay attention to it. If it's not working this way, try it a different way, try something else. You know, it's never a failure. The only failure is not trying to begin with. You know, but it's people who have said nothing but failures in their life, or that, you know, never chase after their dream, that'll tell you don't bother to chase after yours. Or if they did chase after their dream and they succeed, they don't want to see you succeeding. They don't want to see you winning. They only feel special when they're the only one succeeding, when they're the only one winning. They believe in a lack mentality of there's limited resources, there's limited spots out there, and if you come up, I'm not as special, you know? It's really about them. It's not really even about you. It's really about them. It's about their insecurities at the end of the day, right? It's never about you. It's never about your failures. It's never about your past. Because people that really love you, really care about you, and really support you are not going to keep throwing your failures in your face. Now, they might point out, like, hey, you know, you're doing the same thing over and over again. You know, try it a different way. But they're not going to tell you just give up, just don't do it, just don't do this, just stop. But also, spirit is saying that when you come to this realization, that you also need to allow yourself to process and let go of any anger or resentment or judgment that you might have towards these people, right? Because that's just going to weigh you down too. That's, you know, then I can't believe this person is trying to sabotage me, I can't believe this person just won't support me, I can't believe, instead of focusing on the positive, you're still focusing on the negative. So allow yourself to really process this information, to go through it, and then to release it and let it go and let it be their own energy. Let them deal with their own energy. Let them deal with their mistrust and their misbelief. That's on them. Yeah, exactly. The shadow energy of this networker conveys information only for personal gain, spreads fear and falsehood. Exactly. Okay? Exactly. Trying to create tower moments here. There is a really important decision. There's a really important moment that's coming here in your life, okay? And spirit is saying that it's that you really don't need to allow things that are trying to hold you back from your past or your fears or your anxiety to stop you from making these moves in your life. And gender social awareness, yeah, for the light attributes and empathy, yeah. These people also might know you might be an empath as people, you might really absorb other people's energy around you. So again, cleanse your energy. I was talking about that earlier in a reading that I was doing about how important it was to cleanse this energy away from you. Yeah, because there is this kind of energy of wallowing and self. I don't want to say self pity, but it's like misery loves company. You know that saying, misery loves company? This is the Five of Cups, by the way. Misery loves company. These people want you to be as miserable as you. People are on a quest to make you feel how they feel. So if they love themselves and they care about themselves really deeply, if they feel strong, they're not going to spend their time like tearing down other people, pointing out other people's flaws, doing that. It's really because they're too scared to face their own flaws. Okay, and if you feel this judgmental or this kind of energy within you, that's something that you need to heal, because it's really not about that other person, it's about you, right? Yeah, but there is this kind of energy of like wallow in self-pity with me, be on my same level, feel the way I do. I feel terrible. I feel down. I feel drained. I feel unimportant. I feel unaccomplished. And so these will be the very same people that are like, you're not as accomplished as you think you are. You're failing at this and you're failing at that. You haven't grown as much as you think you have. I tell you this, I've grown more than you. That's what I know. I don't need a person that's been the same for like their whole entire life to tell me I haven't grown. Because I haven't grown as much as you think I have. Okay, bud. Star. This is this is an energy here that's being highlighted to you where spirit is saying like there is a type, for a lot of you, there is a type of shine, there's a type of star quality, there is a type of special light within you that unfortunately a lot of people will try to extinguish because they're either afraid their own light doesn't match or they're unable to see that that they can shine just as bright as you if they did the work, if they believed in themselves, and if they if they allowed themselves to change and develop and grow, the same way you are trying to or you have. um, there's people around you that'll try to make you doubt that. That'll try to make you doubt that flame or doubt that light that's growing and that you're fostering inside of you. Um, because again, I talked about that earlier, about it irritating their demons, about it irritating their darkness, about it irritating, about it triggering their insecurities. We're talking about the same things when I say all those things. Irritating their demons or triggering their insecurities is the same thing. You know? There's a real, and I'm not saying this to like big, like in a big-headed way. I'm not saying this and I don't mean this in the egotistical sense, because I am a firm believer and we all have a very important mission here, because we are all here living an experience. It is such an important, like every single lifetime is an important lifetime in our experience as a soul, right? For me personally. So I feel like everybody, no matter if your role is big or if your role is quote unquote big or quote unquote small, in the grand scheme, we all are playing our role in the grand scheme, in the grand design, in the grand divine design, right? That's just how I personally believe, right? So whether or not you're supposed to be influential in the way that you affect your relationships within your own family, or if you're supposed to be influential in the way that you affect hundreds of thousands, millions of people, however many people, or however that you are supposed to change this world, no matter how big or how small your mark is on this world, it's there, right? And it has a purpose. Um, so I don't say this in an egotistical way, but I think some of you do have a very big purpose in a sense, in the sense that Spirit is saying, don't talk yourself out of your higher purpose. Don't talk yourself out of your role in the divine plan, right? Or don't allow your insecurities, or allow these people's insecurities to slow you down, to hold you up, right? Passionately, with this Knight of Wands, passionately go towards something, but it's important for you to ground this passion too, right? Because the Knight of Wands can be very passionate, but it can leave. It can be just as fleeting as it, you know, just as quickly as it rushes in, it can rush right back out. And that might be, you guys might feel that way about your inspiration. You might feel like your inspiration to create something, or to drive, or to your motivation to network, or to create a business, or to create something that you're doing here, that you're walking down your life purpose path, that you're integrating into what you do on a daily basis. This could come out as a career, or as a business, or, you know, whatever it is to you, right? It's, there is a sense here of wanting it to come like an even flow, but life isn't always an even flow. There's ups and downs, you know, there's hills, there's waves, there's, you know, there's plateaus. um and it's about embracing all the different, all of that, right? If you're going uphill, embracing it. If you're going downhill, things seem easier, embracing it. If you're plateauing and things aren't growing the way you think that they should, it all has its purpose. And it's about understanding that, you know. And it's about, there is a sense here though too of detaching yourself from things that are really like weighing you down and holding you back, and making you feel like you're not worth it, and to not step into the light that you're really supposed to be in. And also with this networker card, this is really, really about you having a highly empathic being, okay? You being a very highly empathic being, and the people and the company that you keep, and the opinions that you let weigh on you are very important. They're very important, especially tied into your career path or your life purpose. Because for a lot of you, I feel for a lot of you that this is going to be applying to, I really feel like some of you, sorry, I'm getting like notifications on, and I usually get messages out of these. Yeah, a new message is coming in. There's something here about a new friend, or a new group of people coming into your life, networking. Because I was literally just about to say that, and then I got all these like notifications on my device from, you know, receiving new messages, or receiving new emails and things like that about, yeah, about, and it was so funny because all of them that came in was about like new network and kindness and energy coming into your life with this networking card here. Some of you are really going to, it's like a new circle or a new something here. You know, it's where the new messages, you know, and then look at the networker card, all these messages coming in, right? This is also about the message that you put out having a lot to do with the messages that you get in. So this is also about like your paradigms, like your psychology, like about your really big resource for you being the life that you have experienced, being a really big message for you, like, you know, your hardships, or your life, or your past relationship issues, or your past family or career issues, or things like that. Finding your life purpose, it's a really big, um, it's going to be a really big factor in finding that purpose here. Yep. The Temperance, yeah, things are balancing out here, a big balance. Yeah. And it was 4404 when I was talking about that. A big balance here is coming in here. Cuz yeah, some of you have really, like I said, have really been dealing, cuz like with this empath energy here, a lot of you have been dealing with a lot of vampiric saboteur energy in your life here that's been really draining on you, right? And it's going to be so important for you to learn how to cut off and place boundaries in your life between yourself and this energy. Okay? Visionary. Again, you are this visionary energy here. Capacity to envision what is not yet conceivable to others. Willingness to proclaim a vision without regard for personal gain. Seeker on the back of the deck here. And what's that up there? Child divine. Yeah. Oh. Poet, a lot of you, again, here it's about how you speak to yourself, expressing insights and you know, in symbolic language, or just, you know, yeah, teacher. I was talking about that, right? About using your personal skills and putting them out there to other people here in a way. Rebel. teaching teaching yourself and teaching other people to do things in a different way than you were taught, right? Questioning these old paradigms of self-worth, questioning, you know, is this my energy or is this somebody else's energy? Are these really my feelings that I feel about myself? Is this doubt and this fear that I feel, is it really mine, or is it somebody else's that somebody else has projected onto me? Are these feelings about my body and about my shame and about my sexuality, is it really how I feel about myself, or is it how I was told that I should feel about myself or about my body or about my sexuality? You know, is it because of the way other people wanted to treat me? Am I treating myself this way because it's the way other people wanted to treat me? Right? Where am I placing my value of myself and my life and in my purpose? Is it really based on me, or is it based on how other people have wanted to treat me, or how the lack of respect other people have wanted to give me, or the lack of vision that other people lacked about me? It's not my problem that you can't see the vision, right? It's your life purpose. It's your vision. Don't be surprised if other people don't understand it. Don't be surprised if other people don't see it, right? Because there's this sense here of cutting ties, like untethering yourself from it being about other people. Yeah, this is a guide, a really strong guide energy is coming in here to tell you. And for a lot of you, you are supposed to be this guide. You're supposed to learn this for yourself and then, you know, be this guide to other people as well with this teacher card coming out here. Or just be aware that, you know, and like I said, no matter what your purpose is, whether or not it's just affecting and changing the way your own personal family deals with this sort of type thing, right? Or whether or not it's on a huge scale of teaching a lot of other people how to live this life or how to cut themselves from this. No matter what you are, no matter where you lie on the scale of the macro to the micro, it is all important, and it is all an important part of this hedonist. Inspires creative energy to embrace the good things in life, celebrates the beauty in yourself. Hello. Okay? Exactly. Hello. F all this BS from the past, right? F the way people in the past wanted to treat you. F them if they didn't want to treat you the way that you needed to be treated or you deserve to be treated. Let it go. It was about them, not about you. Scribe. And for a lot of you, I'm telling you, it's going to be about scripting is also going to be really big for you guys. Scripting your future, scripting your position, scripting, talking about it, journaling about it, getting it out, right? Getting it out and releasing it, letting it go, right? Preserving knowledge and information, or for some of you, you know, really writing it down and passing it along, or passing it along through oral traditions. Okay, I was getting that as well. Storytelling as well. All right. You guys, I cannot tell you this shift. Like, I bet you guys can feel it, but I can really strongly feel it. How the energy was before when we were talking about the saboteur energy in the past, and the difference between the energy that we're bringing out now and what it was before is, it's awe-inspiring. Like, I can't tell you guys how much the energy has shifted and how different it feels. Wow. It feels amazing. Like, when you guys really, really examine this within you, like, I can't tell you guys how much you're gonna fucking love yourself. You know? Yeah, because like I said, you've been really dealing with a lot of this vampiric energy here for a lot of you, right? Makes you aware that someone or something is draining your life force, right? These people in the past, you're gonna become aware of this energy, of these attachments, of this just dark energy that other people, the shadow energy that other people want to project or to put onto you, you know? And facing your own dark energy as well, right? Seeker, exactly. Thirst for wisdom and truth wherever they are. Yeah. Spirit is encouraging you to go on this journey here, right? This is reminding me of the Fool card as well, right? That came out. Was that this reading or the last reading? I'm sorry, like I'm filming back to back to back readings, so sometimes I'm just like, was that this reading or was that 3 readings ago? um, yeah, Exorcist, right? Freeing yourself and others of destructive impulses. This is exactly what we were talking about with that saboteur energy in the very beginning, right? Freeing yourself from those destructive saboteur impulses, rebelling against this and seeking something new, changing the paradigm, flipping the script, right? Flipping the script and writing something new. Say, F this. It's not about how other people want to see me or how other people want to use me or what other people see when they look at me. It's about how I know I am for myself, right? Because for the people that this is for, this is about how Spirit is saying that you have lived so much of your life for other people. The majority of the way that you felt and that you've lived your life has been based on other people. And it's not about that. This journey is about yourself. And I can tell you something. I very much so resonate with this reading. I very much so resonate with that. It's a journey that all of us have to go through of turning inward, right? Turning inward and realizing that it's not about other people, that it's about ourselves, that it's about us in a healthy way, right? Yeah. And with the shadow attributes of this, it's about this fear with that knight, oh, not knight, but that 9 of Swords, I'm sorry. Fear of facing your own demons. Fear of facing some truths about yourself. Like, damn, I really did allow these other people to make me feel this way about myself. Or I really did allow other people's doubts to really sabotage I sabotage myself based on other people's lack of want or love for me. I can't do that anymore. I've got to cut these ties of this self-destructive energy and really start believing and having faith in myself. Rescuer provides strength and support to others in crisis, acts out of love with no expectation of reward. With this God energy on the back, right? It's about finding something bigger. Also, there is a sense here of perhaps, not needing to be rescued. It's reminding me of the damsel card in here, right? Not needing to be rescued. Not needing to rescue others to make yourself feel better either. Martyr. Like, you don't have to sacrifice yourself for others. You don't have to sacrifice your wants and your dreams. You don't have to sacrifice the person that you want to be. You don't have to sacrifice your body to make other people feel happy. You don't have to sacrifice how you feel about yourself to live along with paradigms in the sense of what an old religion or what other people might want to feel, make you feel like you need to believe that way. If you genuinely really believe that way, it's your business. But if you know that it's not resonating with you and you know that you've been made to feel this way and it's just not, and you don't feel right with it, right? It's about you seeking something different out for yourself, seeking out the truth out of what you're going through, seeking something different. Yeah, being this avenger person for yourself. Desire to balance the scales of justice, righteousness on behalf of society and oneself. Right? Or oneself, but I want to say and oneself. Right? Again, 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 again. And we keep saying it. The micro and the macro, ourself and our society, right? All together. Wow. Two more, Spirit is saying. Student. Humility and devotion to knowledge, openness to lifelong learning. Exactly. To being, to being the student and the teacher. To be the leader and the follower. I like this. I like this balance here. It's very Libran. Very, just kind of, this and that. Every, here and half. Finding that balance. Advocating for yourself, right? Being that advocate for yourself. Also about nurturing yourself. Nurturing yourself and allowing yourself to grow. Don't allow other people, oh, that little shrub. It ain't ever gonna go anywhere. It ain't gonna turn into anything. It ain't ever gonna develop. Like, no. One day that little plant is going to turn into this big tree, and look again at the books and at the knowledge and at all of this that you're taking in, like, and look here, right? Like, it's, this person is they're a tree, they're growing, and the fruit that they're producing, they're picking and reading and consuming. It's like this cycle here with themselves with, like I said earlier, what you've gone through in your past is turning into knowledge that you can learn from here, right? That you can learn, that you can grow, and that you can develop. And then afterwards, that this person here, they drop the books, and the books start to decay and turns into the very thing that nourishes them and allows them to learn and grow more, right? Wow. Yeah, there is also here breaking yourself out of a cycle of arrogance in the pursuit of destructive knowledge, unwillingness to transmute knowledge into action. Exactly, right? Like, again, what I was saying earlier, this getting stuck in the cycle with the Ten of Swords to the Ace of Swords, learning that truth and then forgetting it, learning that truth and then being blind to it. Spirit is trying to break you out of a cycle here of being shown the truth and then being like, damn. Well, anyway, let's do it again, right? Right? So spirit is, yeah. And they're saying that this is coming from a wounded place inside of you, okay? This is coming from a wounded place that really needs to be nurtured, that needs to be loved, that needs to be taken care of. And it's okay. It's okay that you're a patchwork. It's okay that not everything has been perfect. It's okay. You're just as worthy. No matter how other people in the past might have made you feel like you're not worthy, you are, right? Your worth doesn't have to be based in your body count. It doesn't have to be based in the way the assholes from your past have treated you or the way that you were raised to not believe in yourself. It does not have to be like that. It does not. And it's not going to be easy, It's going to be something that you're really going to have to work at, and it's a lifetime of work. It's multi-lifetimes of worth of work. But you can make it. Hello. Okay. Awakens compassion and desire to serve other wounded children. Opens the learning path of forgiveness. Yeah. But I know that we've talked about this on the channel before too, right? With the shadow attributes, blames all dysfunctional relationships on childhood wounds. I feel like the spirit's kind of calling me out. Resist moving on through forgiveness, right? This resistance of letting go of the past because you were so wounded in the past, right? You don't have to keep blaming everything on your mommy and your daddy issues, on your wounded child issues. At some point, spirit's like, hey, like, at some point, it's not your fault, that you were wounded, but it is your responsibility to heal them. And it's not for you to keep blaming you falling into these negative cycles about yourself on your past, right? It's about you evolving out of it and allowing yourself to experience something different. This is on you now, right? So it's time to forgive the past, and it's time to forgive these people. Again, take back your power from the situation in the past. Take back your power. It's 2:44 down on the real time clock, okay? Yeah, step into this energy here. It's about you engineering a new future for yourself, designing something new, right? This definitely also is about you getting into this very like king, queen energy for yourself, okay? Yeah. This is also about you stepping into this very kind of protective energy, but it's about you protecting yourself. Bring it to the self first before you want to bring it to others. Spirit is saying, I know that a lot of you might feel this want to really protect and drive, and might feel this need to kind of teach others or give to others in a way, but Spirit is saying give to yourself first, and then you will be able to come from a place of giving to others, from a place of not having to feel like people's rescuer, not having to feel like you're healing yourself by healing other people. Heal yourself first, and that's really going to help you influence, you know, naturally influence other people to heal themselves as well, right? And I'm not going to lie, this is going to be quite profitable for you, but this is also about you creating a healthy foundation for yourself, right? A healthy foundation for you to grow from. It's about the plans, right? The schematics, the the design, the blueprints that you're building from. A lot of you have been really kind of like rolling up the scrolls and throwing away the old blueprints and designing and writing new ones. And it takes a process to do that, right? It takes a process to break down those old paradigms and allow those tower moments to break that down, so that you can get to a place of knowledge, so you can get to a place of like, but Spirit wants to say, like, it's not your parents anymore, it's not your past anymore, it's not those things anymore, it's you. You know, you're the one in control here, and it's about you breaking out of your own limitations that you're putting on yourself, or on your own mindsets here, right? Stop making it so much about other people and make it more about you, right? And it's important, yes, it is important for you to acknowledge what you've gone through in the past, and it's important for you to process that information. A lot of you have been going through, I've been being really guided to like really research like the stages and the processes of grief, and journaling about it and writing about my own experiences. Some of you might really feel really guided to do that as well. And I know that for me, when I really started examining where I was actually further along in the healing process than I was giving myself credit for. I always kept thinking that I was still a little bit late in the process. And then I really realized, like, actually where I am, I'm actually on, I'm actually on the uptake. I'm actually healing a lot more than I wanted to give myself process for, because I felt like healing looked and felt a very certain type of way, and I'm realizing that it looks and feels a lot different than I might have had the expectation for it to. And that's okay. And that's okay. And the healing journey is definitely looked a lot different than I thought that it would, for sure. All right, you guys. Well, that's what I have for you. Thank you guys so much for being here with me. um, if this resonated for you, or if you want to start a dialogue in the comment section down below, you're welcome to. Right? Let's just keep it kind and loving. And like I said, I'm not trying to call out any particular religion or beliefs. And if you genuinely really believe what you believe, and you stand firmly in that, and it makes you feel good and positive and happy about yourself, that's fine. It can be different than the way I believe, or it can be different than this. It can leave it for somebody else if it doesn't resonate with you, okay? As always, thank you guys so very, very much. I really appreciate all of you. Thank you to everyone who likes, who comments, who donates to the channel, who gets a personal reading from me. I really appreciate it, you guys, okay? I hope that you guys are having a happy and wonderful time. I know right now, as I'm uploading this, it's the holiday season, so that's why I've been wishing you guys a happy and healthy holidays with your friends and with your family, or just even with yourself. I hope that you are finding that happiness that you need, and I hope that the end of the year is really bringing about, a closing of a cycle, and bringing about the beginning of a new, fresh, self-love cycle for you guys. All right. Thank you guys so very much for being here with me as always. And I will see you lovelies in the next one. Okay. Bye.